Yo, what up? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day today, or trying to have a good week. So, yeah, I really have no answers. I guess we just have to put our hands together and pray this week. I don't know why this game is a Monday night game. I'm just going to ask you guys, I'm actually shocked this is a Monday night game. I guess they want to make Eagle fans so friggin', I don't know. They want to make the Eagle fans so fucking pissed off. Come Monday night. I'm shocked this wasn't like a 4:30 game during the day, wild card weekend. I figured this was going to be an early type of game, but I guess not. I guess it's not going to be, which I'm kind of surprised, I guess, in some manner. I guess kind of shocked, kind of surprised it wasn't an earlier game, but on a work night, and hopefully not being pissed off, but it is what it is. Well, say hi to everybody in the chat. We got Jazz Fusion, Ryan Campbell, MJ, Big Wick Traders. We got, let's see, Marcus, Eagles Uncut 2.0, Daniel Berry Sports, Ultra Granddad, what up, Eagles Uncut, Demal Smith, what's going on, man? So, yeah, a lot of questions going into this week. I mean, it's literally just up in the air now. Like, Nick had his press conference today, and I don't know. It's just no answers, no nothing, just the same old shit that we've been hearing. And are you going to change play calling? No. It's the same stuff over and over again. But yeah. Big Wig Trader says, can't just fire everyone every year we don't win the Super Bowl. No, I mean, they have to give coaches time. I get it. And I understand that this is a philosophy type of moment when it comes to, it's a philosophy moment for the coaching staff, and the front office is like the biggest problem right now with Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. So it doesn't make me comfortable. But we already know that Howie Roseman's not getting fired. It doesn't matter. So who's the person that you're getting rid of? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles are now 3-point favorites in this Tampa Bay game. You're going to be facing a good defense from Todd Bowles. You're going to get a good defense. This is the third. I think the Tampa Bay Bucks are ranked third in percentage blitzing. So they're a blitzing team. They did it against us when we faced them this past year. So we'll see. Michael Goldberg with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, Joey, in horse racing, a horse that quits is said to have spit the bit. Same thing here. No, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have been coming up to me and not really asked me, but kind of stating what if this whole fucking thing was staged? It's kind of ridiculous how after that 49ers game, they just have looked worse and worse and worse. Slay sat out, and then DeAndre Swift is out now. I mean, they sat him out, sat a few guys out for the Giants game, but it's just, for me, it's just weird how, they barely made any changes after that 49ers game, really. I felt like something happened, between the Bills game to the 49ers game. How does this team look so fucking dead right now? I mean, that's the question. I think the next question is, even here's an example. In the Giants game, remember Okereke? Remember that linebacker from the Giants when we were doing the brotherly shove? Remember that? And he jumped over the pile and literally headhunted Jalen Hurts, and nobody did anything. Nobody did anything. There's something up with these players. And if you guys heard before the game started, there was a report that came out that A.J. Brown was talking to the players throughout the week. He's had player meetings throughout the week, okay? And literally, putting emphasis towards all of the players that the Eagles that the players need to start trusting the coaching staff. So maybe there are a lot of players on this roster that really do not like this coaching staff at all. It's just ridiculous. Even hearing Javon Hargrave in a little bit of an interview. Javon Hargrave had an interview today and talked about the Eagles' practices versus the 49ers' practices. He said the 49ers' practices are demanding and they're very hard practices. And the Eagles are chill and relax type practices. I swear to God. I mean, when players leave this team, I think more of the truth is going to come out of what's been going on behind the scenes. I don't know, but it doesn't look too great. Doesn't look too great at all. We got Alexander Harris with the super chat. Thanks so much, man. What changes you expect in the offseason AJ trade? No. Why? You're not trading AJ Brown. You're not. I think at this point, like I think you're going to trade other players. I think Avonte Maddox with $11 million cap hit. I think he's going to get traded. Slay and Bradbury, they got to do something with one of them. I mean, I don't think they would ever get rid of them both. If they want to keep Slay for another year, I guess that's fine. I mean, if they're going to keep one, I'd rather have Slay than Bradbury. Bradbury, they would have to do something with his contract and move some money around. I don't know. But I think Bradbury should be gone. I don't even want him as the number 2 as of right now. Got a lot of depth at corner. Plus, you have now, we found out, the Saints' second-round pick that we have, because we have 2 second-round picks now. It looks like the second-round pick from the Saints is going to be 50th overall. So that's pretty much what's going on there. It's 50th overall, so not horrible, not bad. We need those 2 seconds badly. We'll see. But I need to see what the Eagles do with this coaching staff before anything, really. The coaches have got to move before the players do, and that's just the truth. So appreciate the super. We'll see what happens, but should be very interesting. So Reggie says, Joey, by Monday the Eagles will know they can host a playoff. They can host a playoffs game. Packers win, Rams win, Eagles win. I mean, yeah. I think Tampa Bay is very beatable. I think you could run on that team, and I think you could pass on that team. The problem I have is, cover 0 blitz. I mean, the Eagles just can't defend that. The way to beat Jalen Hurts is because these route combinations take so long, and when he bails to the sideline, there's nobody open because there's nobody at that side ever. No receivers are turning their head quick enough to see what's going on with Jalen Hurts, where he's going, and they just don't get open for him, and Hurts bails out, and if you're getting pressured that much, because Wink Martindale had no problem going after Jalen Hurts the whole game, and and Todd Bowles is going to do the same shit. He's going to do the same thing. So, Philly John Wick says, Joey, what's up, dude? I can't wait to hear the BS probably won't come out until Howie is done and Lurie's son takes over. I don't know. I have no idea. The main problem right now is because we have no control over it. The main problem is they have to change their philosophy and hire coordinators that are going to bring their own play style to Philadelphia. And Howie Roseman has got to have a collaborative effort with the coaching staff during free agency, the draft, you name it, but has got to kind of take a step back from analytics and let the coaches coach, because this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good. I mean, Nick Sirianni, if they keep him, I don't know if there's anything salvageable at this point. Jeffrey Lurie went into the locker room after the game against the Giants. God knows what was said, but only Jeffrey Lurie is going. If Jeffrey Lurie sees that the players are not happy and there is definitely a different vibe and don't believe in what Nick Sirianni is bringing to the table as a head coach, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. But we'll see though. Big Wig Chair said the Cowboys win the Super Bowl because they hand them the division. It will be purged in Philly. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anybody's getting by San Francisco. I really don't. I really don't. Yeah, Cowboys might have a home game, whatever, but I don't think anybody's beaten San Francisco. And we don't look promising either. We're far from promising right now. So that's a whole different problem. You know, I mean, that's what it is. Players will start talking after the next loss. I think that's the reason too, because I feel like because the Eagles have had this playoff game, nobody is saying anything, you know? But I'm not liking Nick Sirianni at all. Like, he's kind of really fallen off for me the last 6 weeks. And I'm not really a fan. I'm not really a fan. Latye says, all jokes aside, Eagles need a new head coach. Yeah, probably. It looks like it. If he lost the locker room, then it's going to change pretty damn quick. John Bro says, sorry, Chao Ocho says, Eagles are playing possum, says he knows and watch what happens in the postseason. They will come alive. I know Ocho was a great receiver. He knows something. I don't know. I saw that clip. That's what I said earlier in the stream. Like, are the Eagles, like, is this all of are they doing this on purpose? I mean, it sounds stupid, but, and to me, I say to myself, how do they look worse right now? I don't get, they can't be that, these coaches really can't be that stupid. I always say to myself, are they really that stupid to look this bad on even both sides of the ball at this point? Because I'm worried about the defense more than the offense. That's obvious, because the defense has just looked horrible. I mean, at least with Desai, not like it's looked better with Desai, but statistically they look better because they weren't giving up the big play. And number two, you know, Desai was only giving up 22 a game. Matt Patricia's giving up like 26 points a game or more. So, Troll says, Lurie said in the past, coaching change, one of the key things he looks at is the competitiveness of the team and the direction the team is trending. We have been mostly non-competitive and trending down. Yeah. That's what he's looking for. And I mean, I'm not seeing competitiveness. I'm not seeing it on the field. I might see a team get all excited during the week, but that's just not enough for me. It's just not enough that there's nobody's getting excited. A player is not going to, like, at the end of the day, like, the players can get excited during the week, but once they hit that football game and these coaches just take that play calling and put it downhill, that's all it takes. Morale just goes down the fucking tubes after that. Just goes right down the tubes. Philly 416 to anyone hating on Hurts, look at Sam Acho's breakdown of yesterday's game. Yeah, there's a lot of Eagle fans that want Hurts gone, and I'm not on that train. I will not be on that train at least for another year if he plays the same way, or if they change the coaching staff around him, or change the offensive scheme. I think Brian Johnson needs to go. I think I agree with Seth Joyner did say the other day on they need a coach that's going to push Jalen Hurts. They need someone that's not friendly with him, and I think that relationship is kind of hurting this team as well, because I think they're both getting away with a lot of shit, and I think no one's really held accountable at this point. I see some moments in some games where Jalen and Brian Johnson are talking to each other. I see some moments when they're kind of like ignoring each other. It's just very unhealthy, and I think you need a coach that's going to push him, an offensive coordinator that's going to have his own playbook. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Obviously, a lot of teams are not in the playoffs, so a lot of coaches, a lot of GMs, a lot of coaches are getting fired right now. That's just what it is. Big Week Traders with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, we have wins on 43% of all playoff teams already. Yeah, I mean, that's great, but we don't look like that anymore. We don't look like that anymore, like we were middle of the season during the gauntlet. That's the thing I'm saying. Like, you can't lose in December for a whole month. Like, you just can't. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what it is. It's what it is. Latye says Hurts has 14 receptions as coaching. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it is because Jalen Hurts doesn't do the route combinations. He doesn't figure out the hot routes if there's no hot routes. If this is, it's a lot of coaching. It's a lot of coaching. Hurts doesn't throw 14 picks in a season. It happened this year. It's a regressing year. He didn't do that last year with a better coordinator. So I'm not on that train that Hurts is fucking garbage. I won't be until if he does this again, or if the Eagles don't change don't change their ways philosophy wise on drafting or on just the hiring process has got to get better, and the control has to be gone, and Howie needs to give up some of that control. So it is what it is, because that's the biggest problem right now, unfortunately. Ryan Campbell says D-line doesn't have a sack at all. Yeah, I know. It's the last 6 weeks. I mean, it's really bad. They've had maybe 1 or 2 sacks in 6 weeks. It's horrible. Look at this game. I mean, how many times do you see Hassan Reddick in coverage? How many times do you see Josh Sweat in coverage? Why is your best defensive lineman in coverage in this fucking game? I don't get it. And it's funny because I didn't see Gannon doing none of that shit when he was facing us, putting these defensive ends in coverage when he played us, when he was, obviously the head coach of the Cardinals, last game. I didn't see that shit. And then it's just funny how they put Hassan Reddick in coverage last year, like a lot of times early in the season. That's not the type of player he is. Maybe in his beginning of his career in Arizona, he was like that, but once he became a pure edge rusher, he was a fucking monster. Your best player with 11.5 sacks for the season is, if Josh Sweat hasn't had a sack in fucking 8 games. I mean, it's bad, dude. There's no stunts, there's no blitzes, there's no linebackers playing downhill. That's what it is right now. I mean, it's horrible. How are you supposed to get pressure, too, when your corners are playing 8 yards off the ball? That's not going to happen either. I can't stand the bend don't break system. I can't stand it. How are you supposed to critique your roster going into next year? Like, how do they know? This is why there's so many players that are leaving and being successful somewhere else, because we can't produce certain positions. You know what I mean? Like, we can't. I don't get the system that how are you supposed to evaluate your roster? How do you evaluate it when every position is flawed from a scheme that's more important than the players and their strengths? That's what annoys the fucking shit out of me. It does. Okay, Jonas SPL, what's going on, man? He says, hey, Joey, great video this morning. Always on point. Wink Martindale just re-signed with New York. I want him as our DC. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. So Wink's going back to the Giants. I think Matt LaFleur, they're keeping everybody. The Giants are keeping everybody. The coaching staff is staying intact for next season. And Wink is, he brings pressure, man. He's still a good coordinator. I wish we had a guy like that. I wanted Wink Martindale badly when he was available when the Ravens got rid of him. I wanted him badly. It's unfortunate. I don't know if Jim Schwartz is on a 1 year or whatever. Travis Johnson could have 2 sacks against Tyrod Taylor, but he couldn't tackle him. Yeah, and the tackling is god-awful. We heard from Javon Hargrave today. He talked about the practices and how more demanding it is with San Francisco, and they're harder practices. And with the Eagles, the practices are just relaxing. I mean, that's the shit that we're hearing. That's the shit I don't want to even hear. Do you think they have been coasting after what Goddard said? I don't know if they have. And if they have been, I don't even know. Like, that would be the most weirdest shit I have ever seen from a team losing on purpose, sitting guys out on purpose. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you do this shit on purpose. Like, this whole thing, these last 6 weeks were like literally like they just want to get to this playoff game to play 100% better. And because it's weird, because part of it is like, they've played horrible, and then the other half of it is, could this whole thing be a hoax these last 6 weeks? Or the coaches are the coaches that friggin' stupid? Like that's what I'm kind of getting at. Are the coaches really that dumb? I mean, I can't say that they're that stupid. I can't say that they're trying to throw games at this point. Perry says, I think Blankenship needs to go in Bradbury and Slay go after someone who played tight coverage. I want Bradbury gone. Reed Blankenship is not a starting safety. I'm sorry. He's just not. I mean, the guy just can't cover. I don't know. I think we were desperate. I think there were some games he played really well, but I don't know if Reed Blankenship is the future. I think he is a pure backup for this team that could take over some games. That's fine. But for his sake, I don't think, I don't know. Troy said, this team isn't coasting. That is dumb. Why would you give up a 1 and 2 seed to go on the road for 3 games? That's what I'm saying. You were 10-1, okay? You were 10-1. You were 2 games up in the conference. You choked away the first seed. You choked away the second seed. You choked away the division. It's just the truth. Professor Fiddlesworth says, do you think this team has been so focused on getting back and not just enjoying the moment or the steps needed to get there? Seems like nobody's on the team has fun. No. I think they're focused to a certain degree. But once you can't get drives going, once you can't get Jalen Hurts into a rhythm because like these route combinations are taking forever to develop, and you know you're using play action. I mean, the only thing that worked in that Giants game was, I think the only people that played well in that Giants game was Kenneth Gainwell, the punter Braden Mann. Ojomo didn't have a bad game. Tupelutu from the defensive line, he had a sack and a tackle. I mean, it's really not saying much, man. It's really not saying much. Bald Eagle, the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He said, we need Blankenship right now. He has heart. No, I get it. Sidney Brown is out now. Sidney Brown's out with an ACL, which really sucks, which means that we're not going to get him back until probably next October. So this is getting much more insight now that the Eagles really have to go after a safety in this draft. Corner in this draft. They have to get rid of Bradbury, go get a corner. They have to, I don't know. They got to go after a safety, and they 100% need a fucking linebacker early. Beyond. I don't want to see Nicholas Morrow back. I don't want to see these one-year deals at linebacker. Nakobe Dean, for me, is written off. I'm going to write him off for now until he proves me wrong, because his weakness is availability. And if you're not available to play football games, you're not going to do much in this league if you can't stay on your 2 feet. This is the 3rd injury from Nakobe Dean. He's been on IR 2 times, and he is still out to this point, to this degree, still out. It's annoying. So, Chris Bryant says, we just have sorry coaches with a dated playbook. Doesn't make any sense. It's not even a playbook. What is it? What are these plays from? Nick's game plan that is a absolute failure right now, that's going absolutely nowhere. Nick looks like a coach that's getting fired soon. He's acting like a coach that's getting fired. His facial expressions, his fucking answers for every question, he looks like a dead man walking right now. He looks like he's already fired, but it hasn't happened yet. That's what it looks like right now. It looks like he's already done. He's fried, over with, finished. Philly fans, Chad Johnson thinks the Eagles are playing possum. So, you don't play possum for this long and lose games and literally choke up 2nd seed, choke up 1st seed, choke up every fucking thing, choke up the division, everything. Good Vibes said, Blankenship is a box safety, not a free safety. Keep him in the box and get real. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Tro says, Howie would stop at a dollar store in linebackers if they had any. Good Vibe says, manifesting sign Patrick Queen in free agency. I would go after Pat. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all. I mean, I would, come on now. I want to go in the draft and get somebody as well, which I know they're not going to do early. I feel like Brian Burns would be a big pickup for the defensive line going into this year. He's not returning to the Panthers. He had a pretty crazy interview the other day that he's not in the future plans, that he's going to be going elsewhere. I think the Eagles would have a lot of interest in Brian Burns at defensive end, and he's young. So we'll see. I mean, players are players. It doesn't matter what players you get. If the coaching staff is the way it is right now, and the control is not led up by Howie Roseman, this shit is not going anywhere. Lucas family says OC and DC should go get better play calling and define identity. Sirianni will have half of the next season, 8 games to get better, or else he will be gone. I don't know if he's going to last past this playoff game. I don't think he's going to last. I'm not saying it's 100% he's going to get fired, but I don't think he's going to last. And it's really up to Jeffrey Lurie because of how if Nick has lost this locker room so far, how can you come back from that? How do you come back from it? Reese says, does Malcolm Jenkins want to play 3-4 games at safety? Russell, why would Patrick Queen this dumpster fire? Well, I mean, there's a lot of players that go to teams that make no sense. Like Adam Thielen went to the Panthers to win a Super Bowl or get into the playoffs. I mean, guys think some of these players think they know what teams are going to do well, and half the times they have no idea. Half the time. We got a super chat from Big Wig Chairs. Thank you so much, man. It says Nick has never put new stuff on tape this late in the season. He thought they'd win anyway and backfired. I do expect to see a different game plan. I'm hoping. Now, why is Vegas picking the Eagles to win this game? They're three. They have they were 1.5 underdogs. Or no, I don't even know if they were 1.5 favorites. Now they're 3-point favorites now into the second day of the week. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what type of game plan they're gonna have, but we'll see. I mean, DeAndre Swift's coming back, so at this point, you better run the fucking shit out of him. That's all I gotta say. If you're resting, if you're not gonna run him, why'd you rest him last week? Don't even fucking rest him. I understand he had a cold or he was ill, which I completely doubt that. I don't believe he was sick. I believe he could have been sick, but no, we don't have 2 first-round picks. No. Oh, if we had 2 first and 2 second rounders, that'd be great. But no, we don't. We have 2 seconds and a first. We have a lot more picks, too. We have compensatory picks that haven't been released yet. So that's a whole nother thing that we have to look at. Rodney Under says, here we go again, asking a retired player if he could play. Why are you all the same? Always stalking ex-Eagles players and retired Eagles who probably suck at asking them to come back. Yo, don't stop. I want young players, dude. I don't want to sign old fucking players that don't want to tackle a certain way or that's it. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy at all. A lot of people giving up. A lot of people giving up on certain players. There's certain players I'm not going to give up on, but I want the youth movement to continue. Philly D says, why would they the franchise play positive? Eagles are done and hope for changes. Coyote says, you need a coordinator and offense that is tailored to Hurt's strengths and get the ball in your playmakers' hands. Yeah. I think part of why Jalen Hurts has 14 picks today is because of this coaching staff, 100%. Because he's forced to throw some things that are not going to go his way. Because you can't just throw the ball out of bounds. You got to take a shot. And sometimes it doesn't work. Joey Latye says, Joey, if the Eagles want to get better, you'll need to get a better OC from like Dallas did and look at the Dax interceptions now down a lot. Just saying. Oh, it's true. That's all. Sometimes that's all it takes. Will the Eagles do it? I don't know. Will the Eagles let go of certain power? I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I had more optimism for it. It's going to be a very crazy offseason. Eagles fan says Antoine Winfield Jr. and Sidney Brown Jr. is an unrestricted free agent. Appreciate it, Chris. Professor, I think you got to give Brian Johnson one more year and get some continuity. Defense, though, definitely needs a change. If this team has even just an average defense, they're going 14-3. The one thing that I feel like we're not seeing is what Brian Johnson's offense looks like that he wanted. And because Brian Johnson is listed as an OC, I don't think of him as an offensive coordinator at all. I don't. I feel like Brian Johnson is still an assistant, and this is revolved around Nick's game plan, which Dave Spadaro already said that a few weeks ago, that the offense is based off of Nick's game plan, and then the coordinators kind of piggyback off of it. That's pretty much what happens. House Nelson says, I just want to say football is too short. I think it's wrong. It's wrong the way the Eagles is treating you guys. Dude, when you lose 5 games out of 6 in 6 weeks, you kind of get used to it. When you lose multiple games, it's not even like bothering me anymore. It's just, I'm just sit here and I say to myself, how do you look like this every single week? I don't get it. I feel like, the content is crazy because it's like I feel like I'm complaining more than I'm like trying to make sense of things. Like, I feel like that's all I've been doing every week the past 6 weeks. Why is Sirianni playing Reddick at cornerback? No idea. I mean, it's not Sirianni doing that, but who knows? Or he said, do you see Dallas interview? Did you hear what he said? Dallas Goedert's interview? Did he say something about, like, I don't even know what he said. I know I skimmed through it. I don't think I watched the whole thing. So I thought I remembered just now, but I don't. I honestly don't. Devin said, I'm just so mad with this team. They literally let Dallas Cowboys make the NFC Championship game. Could be. Flip Phone said the Eagles will win if they run Swift 25 times. It makes no sense protecting a running back and not our 200. I mean, at this point, you're getting rid of Swift after this year. For me, I want to re-sign him badly because I feel like he could be the future here. I really do. He's not just some regular back, average back. He's not a Josh Adams. He's not a Wendell Smollett. And he sure thing is not a Kenneth Gainwell, since Gainwell is more valued regardless. But yeah, he can carry the rock over 20 times. And I hope they do. B. Philly says, Joey, we're going to get that at least the divisional round. We will become run heavy, especially with Hurts injured. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope that whatever happened to his middle finger, I hope it doesn't affect his throws, but I really hope that it at least it gives them more motivation to run the football this week. That's what I'm kind of hoping. We got a super chat from Slick. What's going on, man? Thank you so much. Didn't have to do that. Appreciate it so much, the super chat. Says, if Sirianni stays, hire Arthur Smith and Wink Martindale as our OC and DC. If Sirianni leaves, hire Smith as head coach and Wink as his DC. Smith comes from a good offensive Maya tree, and our team is way better than ATL. Yeah, Arthur Smith, I mean, he did good. He did good with the Titans as the OC, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The problem I'm having with that dude is because of the control and the philosophy from Howie Roseman. That's what I'm getting pissed off about. That's where I get really emotional because it makes me so emotional and pissed off because I feel like the front office is holding what we can have with this team, wasting a whole roster away like this. Now, Wink is staying with the Giants. Arthur Smith will probably be available. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's going to happen. It's changing the philosophy and letting up some of this control and getting. Why wouldn't they want a coordinator that has his own offense to come here to cater to our quarterback in this offense? That there's no issues with it. I mean, everything is fixable. They had time to fix this year, and they never did, and that's probably one of the biggest problems, unfortunately. So I know this team is better than a lot of teams. They're just coached fucking piss poorly to the point where like this team is uncoachable because the coaching doesn't even look like it's coaching. I mean, what are you doing to these players every week that's making them look like they're quitting every week? You know, I think that's an important thing as well. Totally. We got Feast with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, so you don't honestly think we don't have nothing up our sleeve? We have so much talent on offense. No, I don't. I honestly don't. I think everyone is overreacting to, they're saving something in their playbook. They're saving. No, they're not saving anything on their stat sheet. They're not. This is how they are. I don't know how they're like this. I don't know how they don't make any adjustments. I don't know how they go on weeks and weeks like this and then they say the same shit at these press conferences. Nick Sirianni looks like a guy that's already getting fired already. It just hasn't happened yet because they want this coaching staff to be intact. Okay, for this playoff game. Okay. That's like the big issue I'm having. Richie says the 5 stages of grief: denial, fear, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Joey has reached acceptance and the Eagles season is over. The Eagles season might be over. And if they win a playoff game, I'll be shocked. But if it is over, it's over. But I'm still going to watch the team next week, support the team. I just, what is showing me right now that they can really, they can go in Tampa Bay and win this? What's showing me that? There's nothing that's really promising right now. Nothing. You get a garbage touchdown with Mariota. I mean, that's the best you did. Really, that's the best you did all day. The best you did. And it sucks. The worst feeling ever. Can't stand it. Big Wick says, that's what I'm saying, man. Sirianni was game planning for the playoffs, but it butt him in the ass. Yeah, I get it. Coyote says, you don't have that kind of coordinator now. It's the identity thing. You guys have an identity, and now it's like everyone is looking at the next guy to see who can carry them. Yeah, and that's another problem. Because when you run your offense through analytics so much and make no adjustments, how does a coach have a feel for the game? How do you find out what your own identity is when you don't even trust in your own play calling of inexperience? And I think that's a big problem. Robbie John says, stay real, people. It's not going to plan. One speech says, Joe, do you think this team compared to 21 Cardinals? Maybe. This team was compared to the 2006 Colts, the 2012 Ravens, losing 4 out of 5, your last 4 out of 5 games before the playoffs. He says, you should tell my iPhone what do you want to do next time you say Sirianni's name. Yeah, so that's what happens with my phone. So if I don't have, I have my stream on, so it won't do it, I don't think. But usually it does happen with my phone all the time. It's really annoying. Nicholas is watching CFP right now, and Washington's offensive system looks 10 times harder and creative than Sirianni's. Any team is. Any team is. The Panthers could probably beat us at this point. That's how bad it is right now. Yeah, Wink Martindale re-signed with the Giants. He did. He did re-sign. We got 273 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream up like crazy. Check the pinned comment for memberships to support the channel if you want to. I appreciate it so much, everybody. Devin says, I could literally make the Eagles play better, use a better offense scheme. Heck, I would run the ball and try some shotgun passes. We need more passes under center. We need more under center. We don't throw any quick passes from the line. I mean, everything takes too much to develop. They're making things more predictable when it comes to subs, when it comes to a lot of other things. So we'll see. Vigilant Tracker says, Joey, Wink Martindale already resigned his position with the Giants. Yes, yes. No doubt. Well, HB says Hargrave said 49ers practice harder than the Eagles. That should tell us something. Yeah. Yeah. He said that the Eagles practice was more relaxed. He said the 49ers practice is more demanding and they're hard practices. That's what I'm saying, dude. From every standpoint, it's looked really soft. This team has looked more soft than baby shit. It's pretty bad. Wyatt Bird says, you think the new head coach will let Mulata run in the red zone? Yeah, probably not. Kyle says, you never know how you guys could beat the Bucs, who aren't even talented. And sometimes a win can jumpstart better things. I don't think you guys go very far, but you never know. Oh, dude, like if they win, I'll be happy. I just don't feel like they're going to win. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me saying that. What's promising me that they're gonna? Oh, what, they're keeping plays in their back pocket? Everything's gonna be fine after that? I doubt it. Coyote says, I will hit that like, Joey Shakes. You seem chill and looking for tangible answers. Oh, dude, man, I appreciate it so much, but I'm just realistic at the end of the day. I don't sugarcoat anything. Big Wigs, the 49ers practice so much harder than the Eagles. They get injured in the playoffs every year. Wayne said, I don't understand why Hassan and Nolan uncovers instead of rushing the QB. I don't know. When it comes to Nolan Smith, he's got to wait another year, and they can start cross-training him if they want. But I honestly feel like Nolan Smith needs to be he needs to be a full-time pass rusher. I think the number one thing with him that he's failing right now because of coaching is hand placement, getting off blocks. I think that's one thing. That's one area that kind of sticks out a little bit. These guys don't have enough time with each other. It's not enough time. Martin Perez says, hey, Joey, with Hurts' finger now being messed up, we will actually see short passes in the blitz. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see short passes, and I hope they run the fucking ball out of If DeAndre Swift only has like less than 5 carries in the first half, I'm going to flip my shit. I'm going to flip my shit. I'm not even kidding. Chris says, it's the boxing glove broomsticks in practice. I hate to see it every time they show it in public. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. The boxing gloves are horrible because they actually punch with those. These little stick pillows they use are the string connected to the ball or to get fumbles and not fumble the ball and not turn over the ball. You know, I get it. No, David, you can't win with this defense. This is the worst defense. I mean, the defense, I have no faith in the defense going to the playoffs. I don't. I really, really don't. And I really hope they don't keep Matt Patricia on as a defensive coordinator after this year. I really hope not. I really, really hope not. What if you said if Sirianni gets fired, I'll get Todd Monken OC from Ravens? Chris says, I think Nolan Smith is a snail. I think he just needs to bulk up more. Like, he's a first-round pick, but the Eagles didn't give him opportunities a good half of the season. He was mostly a special teamer. He was coming off that neck injury or shoulder, whatever it was, from the offseason. So we got a super chat from Bald Eagle. Thank you so much, man. He says, if I bet against the Eagles, think they will win. I mean, do the complete opposite. You might actually get it, to be honest. I'm not the betting type, but if that's your case, then do it. Makes us able to run the ball. Herb says if they keep him, Bill Belichick will come. He's getting old, dude. I don't even know if he can even coach a team and get him to another championship ever again. I really don't know if that's the case or he can actually do that. I don't know if he can do that anymore. One HP says Eagles FFO don't want Bill. Ray says, dude, turning off the game if I see some crap from the team in the first quarter. There's a lot of Eagle fans that put off there was people messaging me saying they turned off the game. They even looked back at it. They were just watching highlights after it was done. I mean, it was pretty bad. It was bad. Nolan is an injury bust, and what is Nakobe Dean? Nolan Smith hasn't been hurt for a bit. Like, what's Seriously. I don't know why I'm even wearing these. I'm not even on. Westby says coaching staff was right about Penny. He can't pass. Yeah, the pass blocking wasn't good from Rashad Penny. It really wasn't. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't good enough. I don't know. Ken says, so Wink didn't resign. He resigned as in quit. I totally misunderstood. Wait, no, he didn't. No. No, I think he stayed. Oh, you're fucking right. Oh man, dude, I fucking screwed that up. Oh, dude, like they gotta go after him. I totally fucked that up today. I thought it said Wink was staying with the team. Oh, dude, they gotta go after him, man. There's no fucking way. Now I'm even more pumped. They gotta fucking get him, dude. They really gotta get him. I read that shit wrong as well. I read it wrong myself. All right, what am I doing? Why is my chat being stupid? Oh, I'm good. Oh my god, they got to go get him. I thought it said that he was staying with the team. I think I read that wrong the same way you did. Chris says, it was so painful listening to Nick in these pressers. He's so delusional. He sounds like a guy that's getting fired. I'm telling you. It sounds like a guy that's a dead man walking, ready to be fired after this playoff game. I'm telling you. Nobody, if you sound this stupid, it sounds like he's getting fired. It's just, I could be wrong, but how many yards did Penny get? I would say no more than 15, maybe less than that. I don't even know. Yes, Wink left the Giants. Oh, dude, they got to get his ass. Sean says, love will fill Rodgers' shoes. The show must go on. Robert says, Hurts has been hurt all year with something. Not giving excuses if he is on the field, but Nick shouldn't have sat at all those starters. No, I don't think so either. I mean, to be honest with you, it was only 14-10 Cowboys, and they took everybody out of the game. They waved the white flag in the second quarter when the Cowboys were only up by 4 points against Washington. I think it was like 14-10 or some shit. Whatever it was. I don't even know what it was. Professor Fitzgerald said, Bucks have bottom 5 worst passing defense. They're gonna get their game plan is to pass the score and run the win. Yeah. Still a bottom team against the pass, and they're a top 3. I think they're a top 3 team in blitz rate. So they blitz a lot. And you know they're doing that to Jalen Hurts all fucking game. Robert said, we need more chimney defensive sets in Philly from Wink. Chris says, but what coordinator coach wants to come here if they cannot coach? The front office needs to find down and and face the crowd and fail. Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is this: they need to. If Howie doesn't let go of some control and let these coaches coach, then whoever we hire is not going to matter. They're not going to hire a guy that's going to have an attitude. They're going to hire some fucking assistant that's dying for a defensive coordinator position. They're going to hire some assistant that's going to make that guy. We have no idea who he is, and that's a guy that they can control. That's a guy that they can control. Unfortunately. Big says they gave Doug an extra 2 seasons. They will definitely give Nick 1 unless they know they're better. If Jeffrey Lurie feels like that Nick hasn't lost the locker room, then they'll probably keep him. But I'm sorry, but these press conferences are not saying he's staying here after this year. I don't know. I could be fucking wrong, but this guy sounds literally fucking asinine, fucking stupid. It's literally that bad. It's that bad. We got a super chat from Slick. Thank you so much, man. The Giants' defensive was killer for us, and the Commanders' offense kept it close. I would love to have those coordinators in Philly. I know. Wink Martindale with a few new additions to this defense with depth behind it would work out so well. I'm telling you. Appreciate the super chat, by the way, Slick. Thank you so much. Sean says, but here's two things we all know about Dallas. Y'all don't beat Green Bay, and y'all don't do well in the postseason, so don't worry about that. Fernie Vegas says, what head coach will take his job? I don't know. That I can't tell you. Frank Reich, as a coordinator too, I don't know. That I'm not sure. Somebody says, nice name. Jalen and Baker are hurt. Should be interesting come Monday night. What is Baker dealing with? Belichick or Wink? Belichick would be, if they hire Belichick. Now, there's been some rumors that Belichick, wherever he's going, there's rumors that he's going to let go of having control over personnel. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes. I have no idea. Obey Crazy with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Did you see the Tim McManus on 97? I watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I'm not sure. I didn't watch everything. Robert says also can't call for guy's job 1 year removed from a Super Bowl. Give Nick another year, but go with a different coordinator. Yeah, I mean, if he didn't lose the locker room, I'm fine with him staying. But if the players are checking out because they don't believe in Nick, then they have to do something about it to keep this roster intact and to keep everybody happy at this point. You know, that's the way it goes. Milo says, why would the office fire Sirianni? They got there. Yes, man. Only Doug got fired because he wanted his own staff. No, I get it. I think you're completely right about Doug wanting his own staff. But the problem is right now is they're going to have to let go of some power because the Eagles are going to go nowhere. Because now I look at everything now. If the Eagles go into next season with this offense and they literally have like a new coordinator and they can't play 4 quarters of good football all year, I know they're going to fucking flop and I know they're going to crumble because I learned a lot from this year of how teams look and what they're supposed to look like. And we haven't dominated one game this year. Not one. What if you said, look at Bills fired Ken Dorsey and promote Joe Brady and now the AFC East champs? Yeah, I mean, Joe Brady firing their head for their offensive coordinator, and obviously Joe Brady coming in, it helped. Regardless, I mean, look at McCarthy with the Cowboys. I mean, he's calling the offense. He stays aggressive, and there's nobody getting in his way when it comes to the playbook. Big Wick says, Sirianni not getting fired. His PR team writes his pressers. He hasn't lost the real locker room. Maybe the journeyman. Maybe the older guys. So I think Belichick is too old to get a head coach gig now, especially with the most teams looking for a new coach are in rebuild mode. Belichick will probably be a consultant for some team. Yeah, probably. He is getting old, and I don't really trust him having full control over, personnel moves. Rob Godger says, Eagles fans are putting too much emotion into this, which is understandable considering the circumstances, but step back and look at the whole situation. Nick will not lose his job this season. Okay, so what if they go one and done? You're playing for your team, and obviously as a player, you're playing for your head coach and you believe in the culture that he's bringing here. And if that's not the case, then if Jeffrey Lurie is seeing that, it's a problem. Jazz says precisely why they will not approve him 4-6. Yeah, Leslie Frazier would be a good one. I mean, has he coached this year or no? I don't think so. I mean, Leslie Frazier has a good rep. That they have a good. He's got a good reputation as a defensive coordinator. Miles said The Office never realized their power since the Super Bowl. Arnold realized probably another Jerry, Lurie, and Howie. Oh no, they know what they're doing, dude. I'm not putting it fucking past them. She said Nick has made the playoffs every year. He's been a head coach. That has to mean something. But dude, Doug Peterson did the same fucking thing and he won a Super Bowl. And Doug Peterson did the same shit. Doug Peterson was in four or five playoff appearances plus a Super Bowl win, and they still fired him. The Super Bowl appearance ain't going to do shit for Nick. It's not going to mean much of anything with Nick. If they fired Doug that easily, they could fire Nick that easily. I sent you an X message. Take a look. What do you mean? Oh, from McManus? Okay, if you want me to read this, I can read it. If you want me to read this, I can read it if you want. Let me read this, actually. Since we're here, let's read this whole thing. Shit. Am I on the right screen? I am. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm on the right screen. Let's read this whole thing. Why not? What Tim McManus had to say here. I'll put it up for you guys. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. Says Eagles report Tim McManus was on 97 The Fanatic for the full hour today. Here are some of the most important notes from Tim during the whole segment. It says McManus said the Eagles have not quit on Nick Sirianni, but wonders if they are convicted in what the coaches are teaching them. Mentioned the Eagles have a strong leadership, and it's hard to imagine the Eagles quit on their head coach. At 10-2, things were unsteady in the locker room after the San Francisco game. More specifically, on the defensive side of the ball, not long after, the Eagles flipped to Sean Desai for Matt Patricia. McManus reports there was an undercurrent of Eagles players wondering, are we being put in the best position? Are we getting our talent utilized to the max? Before the 49ers game, the Eagles were 10-1 at that point. McManus wonders if Jalen Hurts' perfectionist attitude might have played a role into why the Eagles have had a joyless season this year. Said it's possible Hurts' mindset might have rubbed off onto other parts of the team when this happens and the rest of the team isn't playing to the standard. Nobody is having fun. Guys in the locker room felt Sean Desai was overloading them and was getting too extreme in his detail. A source within the Eagles organization called Desai too smart for his own good. Players specifically in the back seven were overwhelmed by the scheme and felt sense of relief when Matt Patricia was named the DC. Says McManus does not believe it was 100% Nick Sirianni's decision to fire Desai. Mentioned that Sirianni is deeply loyal to his coaching staff, and firing Desai would be to counter that. Interesting. McMahon says possible Nick Sirianni is coaching for his job next Monday in Tampa. Mentioned how the locker room and how did so that's. I mean, no wonder no wonder at this point there's actual confusion. There's actual confusion. No wonder the back end. But Kevin Byard just said it after the game. Kevin Byard just talked about they're still like having issues with communication. So is there way too much? Is this bend don't break scheme? Is there too much going into it and confusing the players? This is why it's blown coverage all the time and all this bad shit is happening. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's actually a really good article, by the way, or at least from the quotes. Appreciate that, man. Obey. definitely have a lot of information to take out of that, because that kind of opened some eyes on things. That Nick was loyal to Sean Desai, and things had to change, which was a front office move to change. Oh man, if it was the front office decision to switch Desai to Matt Patricia, I don't know. Got Leggy Tapu says, new subscriber here. Respect from Raiders Nation. Appreciate it so much, Lucky. Raiders Nation, man. I don't see many Raiders fans in here, but appreciate it so much, man. Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate it. That's really interesting. Big Wig said, Desai out here writing quantum physics to explain his scheme. Chris sounds like the front office covering their own asses. Respect, Lucky. Trovo said, if the defense is simpler now, then why are so many busted coverages? Giants wide receivers and cards were all alone. Well, it's all season, dude. It's all season, man. Damn, that's not good. That's a really bad sign, bro. That's a really, really, really bad sign. I don't like it. Oh shit! Hold on, sorry. Got Bald Eagle with a super chat. Thank you so much, man. So even if that's the case, it's still no. I get it. I get it. I totally understand it. You have all this time to make changes. Like the last 6 weeks, what has gotten better the last 6 weeks? And why is every game so inconsistent? The Cardinals game looked better than probably most of the games we had the last 6 weeks. Until that last fucking drive where they turned to fucking idiots. So I don't know. It's not really that good. It's not great to hear that. Appreciate the super, by the way. Erkin Jerk says Patricia's still using the same defense. That's why he can't just switch up a playbook at this point of the season. Just shows what terrible DC this side was. Yeah, no, I mean, when Patricia took over, I figured he'd make a couple of adjustments. You can't change a whole entire playbook in season with your players. You just can't do it. It's going to take too long. There's too much time involved with that. You're not seeing. You have to go with what you've been doing. But when Nick talked about Matt Patricia taking over Sean Desai's playbook, it's not Sean Desai's playbook. It's Nick's playbook. It's Nick's scheme that he wanted here from last year. Because when we faced Jonathan Gannon as the head coach for the Cardinals, and I've watched the Cardinals a lot this year, Gannon was very aggressive. And it really shows you that there was control last year with Gannon. We were blaming 100% on Gannon, and I might not even believe that at that point. It's fucking insane, dude. Insane. Part of Fly says, did you notice when they took out Jalen, he was smirking on the sidelines the rest of the game? Yeah, he was laughing when he got taken out, and then as soon as the half started, that's the second half started, he was laughing on the sideline too. There's just a lot of bullshit. There's just it's just after a while, players are not going to give a shit. I mean, the quarterback's the last one that should not give a shit. I'm not going to say that he doesn't. He could have been talking about something stupid on the sideline. I mean, at this point, you're getting killed in this game. I get it. But still. Williams P says, Chauncey Gardner caught an interception yesterday. Yeah, he just came back. Good for him. Good for him, man. Can't complain about that. Race is back to the defense. Back of defense sucks because they don't have linebackers fill gaps. Thanks, Howie. Yeah. I mean, you have to draft a linebacker. I mean, you really have to. I mean, you got to do something here. You got to pick one. It's either you draft one early or you got to go pay somebody. That's it. Because this isn't working. This is far from working. Biwick says, you really think these leaks are legit, though? AJ called them out already. I depending on who it is, I can hear a sense of certain things going on. Like you kind of have to believe maybe a little bit of it. I'm not gonna say a million. I'm not gonna say 100% of it is true, but some of it's got to be true. Some of it's got to be true. Lewis says, who is defensive leader on field? It should be a middle linebacker. Eagles don't have one. Yeah. No defensive leaders. I mean, no one's really stepping up as a leader right now. Samtrek says, do you think if the Eagles somehow beat the Bucs and then lose next round, do you think Nick still gets fired? Probably not. If they win a playoff game, he probably won't get fired. No. That would be my only reason that he doesn't get fired. If they get smacked around this playoff game against the Bucs, I don't know. Big Wicks, I'm telling you it's dumb, but Sirianni isn't putting the corrections out on tape because he really thought they'd win anyway. And that's really just fucking horrible of him to do. If you're that fucking cocky enough to think like you're just don't have to show guys tape and you just go into another game like that, that's really bad. Mr. Wing says, to be fair, they had Smith and Swift out. I do not care about that. That I don't want to hear a fucking word about DeAndre Swift being out. I don't want to hear a fucking excuse about Devontae Smith being out. The Giants secondary is not great, okay? That is, don't give excuses because they had guys out. You just watch what they did the last 6 fucking weeks. Don't give me that bullshit about because Devontae Smith and DeAndre Swift weren't playing in this game. I'm sorry. I respect the opinion 100%, but it's just that's very lame to even think that at this point. They had Devontae Smith and DeAndre Swift the last fucking 5 weeks. The 5 weeks before the last game. You know what I mean? I respect it, but Dave said, I'm calling it now. 17-10 Tampa. The shit storm that is the Philadelphia Eagles will continue. I don't think they are seeing the top stop sign and will plow right through. It's going to be nuts. Chris says, you can't count on a rookie middle linebacker. We have to pay one. They have to develop one, though. They have to. Well, what you just want to keep dipping in the free? You want to dip in the free agency? Then that's fine. I mean, they have to get somebody legit though. They can't sit back. They have to get somebody fucking legit. They have to get Patrick Queen. I mean, I don't know who else is available at linebacker next year, but Patrick Queen would definitely be on my list, no doubt. There's no doubt about it. But it all connects. If you grab a good linebacker and have a shitty fucking system with the scheme, then what? You know what I mean? AT said, Joe, did you see Chad Ochocinco recent video? Yeah. I don't believe that shit. Kevon Wallace balling out for Titans. He's also a free agent. Yeah, Kevon Wallace, TJ Edwards, even Alex Singleton has the most tackles in Denver right now. I mean, it's fucking nuts, dude. It's nuts. Trotter Jr., bro. Because Trotter Jr. might be a late first round pick. He might not even make it first round. You know what I mean? They need a fucking dog at linebacker. They need an immediate impact at linebacker. And I just feel like they're not going to draft early. They have no choice. Either you pay somebody or I don't know. You have to do one or the other. I'd rather them draft somebody, but they need an immediate impact at that position because it's not enough. Nakobe Dean's not enough. Nicholas Morrow, get the fuck off my football team. Okay? Zach Cunningham is okay, is solid. It's just, that's it. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing else you could do. What's going on, Levy? What's going on, dude? Ryan, what's going on? So I'm going to keep it a buck. Chauncey needs to come back. I would love Chauncey to come back. I would love him to come back. I never disliked Chauncey, ever. Chauncey was a leader for this team. Chauncey that guy had so much swagger. That guy led by example. That guy just played with extra sauce. I mean, love Chauncey. It just didn't end the right way. If they paid Chauncey, Bradbury wouldn't be here right now. But they need hybrid players all over this team. You need hybrid players because of certain positions that guys get hurt. You want to get corners that could play safety that could play corners with safety background, safeties with corner background. They need that hybrid piece like that. They need it. Big Wick says Sirianni has the right corrections for the offense. Didn't want to show them because they thought they'd still weather that way. They still win either way. To be honest, they were winning each of those games that really mattered. Eric says the talent ain't hanging around for a rookie Mike to develop. Then I don't know. I mean, how do you know that though? How do you know that? They could draft a guy that's a fucking superstar. I mean, how do you know that though? Somebody proven. You can go draft someone too. You could double it. Same here, bro. Same here. Bradbury stole $30 million from the Eagles. Sean said, wish we drafted linebacker Trenton Simpson last year. Trotter Jr., another small linebacker, great pedigree, but also small. And we'll see. Ray said, what happened to the O-line that kept Jalen in the pocket, disappeared, not sure what they saw on tape or taking advantage? It changed. I feel like the protection has definitely gotten worse. I think it's totally gotten worse. Shark says, Howie will get a plug and play linebacker and always does. My guy can't draft defense well. Name the studs he's picked in the last 3 years. Carter was easy. At that position. Yeah, I mean, that's why people that talk shit about Jordan Davis need to fucking stop, dude, because what defensive lineman is playing well right now? The last 6 weeks, what defensive lineman is playing that well right now? There's nobody playing well. Every position is flawed because of the scheme. This is why you can't find out what you have for next year. You just can't evaluate this roster this way. You can't. It's impossible. Roy said if the Eagles don't hire a good DC, defense will be fucked next year. Yeah, I agree. If it was the NFL scripted, this would be the year the Eagles come from behind and win the Super Bowl, like the Rocky metaphor. Everyone keeps going. Slick says Brian Burns would help out a lot. Yeah, I would like Brian Burns. I think I've liked Brian Burns. I wanted him during the trade deadline. I would really like Brian Burns. Dang says they're also really down on Nolan Smith. I like give him time. Yeah, he needs another year. He needs an off season. He needs another off season. They need to strictly keep him as I would like to cross train him at Sam linebacker if that's the case, but if they don't need to, keep him strictly as a defensive end. Keep him as an edge rusher and just let him get better. I think the two things that are the weakness of Nolan Smith right now is he's not undersized, but I think he needs to bulk up a little bit. And he's got an issue with his hands. He's not really creative with his hands too much. And I think that's a whole nother problem as well with him. Reese's kid, Jurgens had a bad year protecting Hurts. Eagles might need to draft another guard. Jurgens didn't play bad. I don't think he's played that bad this year. Jurgens has played pretty well at right guard, honestly. I feel like they need to draft another right tackle. They need to draft right tackle. like pronto. Like they need to draft. They definitely got to draft the right tackle for the future, no doubt. Lane Johnson's probably got a couple years left in him, and he's getting his injuries every single year. You know what I mean? This is the age where it happens. Obey says, how do you feel about the article I sent you? I feel like the front office has control, but even at that, Nick hired everyone, so it's both. Yeah, no, I it is both. Nick hired the rest of his coaches. So I think there's a lot of good things to take from it. I really do. I think Nick has a lot of control because Howie is allowing him to have a lot of control, and I think it's making bad decisions, and unfortunately, this is where we're at right now. We got a super chat from Big Wig Traders. Thank you so much, man. So sorry to repeat. Last year, Giants backups almost beat us last game. We crushed them because Sirianni's plan in the past is to hold out corrections. It's not good, man. Not good. It's not a good sign to go through that. I wouldn't take too much out of that game just because, like, you know, when the Eagles just want to get, I don't know. When the Eagles are playing a regular season game, they make the playoffs, they have first seed, you know, I think towards the end of the season, when you're playing a team that has backups, you're gonna lower your standard a little bit and play down to the team that you're facing. I think that's part of it. But I like to stay aggressive in games like that, but I'm not gonna put too much into that. But I appreciate the Superman very much. Very, very, very much. Let's see here. Dang says, another week for me as a fan to have hope that it's a clean slate and it's 0-0. That's what all the players are saying. Like, at halftime of the Giants game, okay, Nick said at halftime, we have a lot more things to worry about with the playoffs next week. Or, I mean, it's not even like, dude, you're getting your ass kicked right now, and you're acting like as if, I sat some players out. I knew we weren't going to play too well today. Like, that's just a bunch of bullshit. That's just a bunch of bullshit. That's what Nick said right after the game. Kevin Byard literally said in the press conference after the game, he said, Nick came to the locker room after the game and he told us we're 0-0. Let's go for a run. Like, quote unquote, that shit. Like, really? Like, that's what you have to say after that fucking loss? I mean, seriously? Eric, so you think they've held corrections with positioning on the line the last 2 weeks? Maybe. Ryan says, can't lose Cox, BG, Kelsey, Lane all at once. Never recover from that. Yeah, that would be tough. They're going to be moving on sooner or later. I don't see Fletch coming back. I agree. Ryan says, Cox, BG, gone. Lane, Kelsey back, I think. So you think Cox and BG. And BG, just they need another edge rusher. They need a linebacker. They need a safety. They need a corner if they get rid of Bradbury. They need a lot more. What's going on, Phil? Says, just joined, Joey. I got to say is we can't keep Nick and change coordinators. We'll be changing every 3 years. Then give me Ben Johnson and Wink. It's going to be interesting. I feel like, and I might agree with you on this, I feel like if you keep the head coach, you can't keep a head coach and just change coordinators. I feel like that can't happen. Because at the end of the day, like, this is what a head coach gets hired, right? Head coach gets hired. The head coach hires his own coaching staff that he wants to work with. That's how it usually goes, and that did happen. Big Wig says, what do you want Sirianni to say? We suck, guys. See you next week for the playoffs. I mean, yeah, I do. No, I mean, there's plenty of ways to say. There's plenty of things to say, like, hey, look, guys, like, I know we're not playing 100% right now. I know we're not playing at what we should be playing to right now, but I want to apologize for putting you in failed situations like I have been. This is all on me as a head coach, and we're gonna get this thing right next week. I promise you, we're gonna fight our asses off to get back to where we should be. That's what you should say. He never says shit like that. There's no way. Maybe he does. Maybe behind the scenes. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. I guess I could be wrong. I don't know. Possibility. Sure. It's a total possibility. Total possibility. Flystyle says Wink left the Giants. I would say bring him in. He's good. I like it. Dude, trust me. Trust me. I am telling you right now, like, I read that wrong today. I thought it said Wink was staying. I thought Wink was staying with the Giants. He's leaving the Giants. Dude, please, God. Keep this man for like 3 years. And I'm telling you right now, like, if Wink comes to the Eagles, like, and he doesn't blitz that much like he is with the Giants, you're going to see the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want these coaches, but I'm afraid these coaches are going to be the players are in a failed scheme that's flawed, and the coaches are in a failed group effort. I mean, I feel like these coaches can't be their own type of coaches. And that's what they're not allowed to do. And that's what Howie needs to change. He needs to let go and change his fucking philosophy. Because if he doesn't, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a total nightmare. Not even kidding. It's not gonna be good. We got 298 in the chat right now. Much love to everybody that's joining tonight on the stream. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. It is Monday, obviously, and the Eagles have a playoff game Monday at 8 o'clock. It's going to be absolutely insane. Why we have a fucking standalone game on Monday night on a work night that everybody's gonna have to be hopefully not pissed off going into work the next day. I don't know. They're putting us in the spotlight for some fucking reason. It's not for Tampa Bay. It's for us for some weird reason. Chris said after the 49ers game, Nick should have went into that locker room and said, "Look, guys, the shit's better never happen again. We're too fucking good for losing. Okay, see you at practice." Yeah, I mean, that's some accountability would be nice, is all I asked. Made Baby Dole says, Wink gon' be Wink. Trust me, Joey. I know, been there, done that. No matter who in charge, Wink gon' blitz. Yeah, I can't see him coming to the Eagles and just like being like, you know what? I'm gonna follow what the front office has to say and what they want to incorporate. That's his style defense, bro, and that's what we need. Thanks says, do you see the guys Eagles interviewed for DC? Nick settled with the sigh. I forgot who else. I know he went to I know they went into the college ranks. They try to get the Georgia defensive. They try to get the Georgia defensive coordinator. They try to get Michigan's defensive coordinator. So they brought them in and let Nick pick them. Eric says, I'm convinced blitzing will fix some of our deep problems. These coaches are so up their own ass they can't admit anything they're doing. No, it's every week. That's why I feel like they're dead man walking right now. They are dead men fucking walking right now. I'm telling you. It shows throughout the whole fucking team. I'm sorry, but I don't see a team that fights on the field. I don't see a team that's pushback right now. I don't see them fighting for nothing. It's a joke. Yeah, Ron Rivera is another one too. I mean, who knows? He might take a year off of coaching. I don't know. We'll see. But, I don't know. I'm not really into like I would probably like Martindale more than Ron Rivera. That's just me. I think I would like him a lot better. Glenn Schumann and Jesse Minter. Yeah. Schumann from Georgia, and it was Jesse Minter from Michigan. I remember. Those are the two guys they were looking at. Which I don't think Eagles was confident in the hire Desai. I don't know. I don't even fucking know anymore, dude. All this shit is so. I've never seen a more confusing, secretive news type bullshit team that I've ever like covered. Like, I just like everything's a fucking mystery every week. Is Dallas first round exits? Probably not because they're home now against Green Bay. But they're not making it past. They're not making it past San Francisco. No fucking way that's happening. No way that's happening. So it's the NFL screws Monday night. Playoff teams over them giving a short week to travel. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. That's really messed up. Why would they do that? I don't like that. Wish he should have kept Denard Wilson. I know. I get it. Maurice says, who do you think, Joey, is the best offensive defensive coordinator that we could get and the head coach if they decide to fire him? I would go Wink. I could go Frank Reich, or I can go Joe Brady, or I can go Eric Bieniemy. Head coach, I don't know. And you go Leslie Frazier too on defensive coordinator if you want. Head coach, I really don't know. I honestly have no idea. They're not making it past Green Bay. So I think the Packers' young wide receivers are going to cause Dallas some problems. Bring Rex Ryan, brother, for DC. Eric says San Francisco has provenly they'll take a Sunday off. We're negative 2.5. I think it's 3. I think we're 3-point favorites right now. Hold my beer says Eric Bieniemy for head coach, Ron Rivera for DC. If Howie can't keep his nose out of the coaching decisions, fire him too. Yeah. I don't know. What about Nick Saban? Phil said, I really want to be a few G's on the Eagles loss given the negative 2.5 line. Fly Style says Nick Saban knows how to win. Yeah, I guess. He knows how to use his quarterback. Winsby said the players were disappointed when they didn't hire Wilson. The more they don't listen to players, the more I totally get that too. But at the end of the day, the players don't choose that shit. It's really the office that chooses that. But I think it was the wrong decision to make at the time. So I don't think it was too realistic. Alex Saras has just joined the show. What's going on? What's going on, Alexis? First round 6, Eagles fan 3 and 4 is garbage. We're not taking no damn Sunday off in the playoffs. No, hell no. No fucking way. This is the opportunity these players have been looking for, just wanting to get to this playoff game. Wilt says, Joey, this offense that's behind plays. Did you see us versus the blitz week after week? I know, I get it. That's why it's weird. I can't imagine they held out plays, that many plays. And they stayed vanilla this whole time, win, lose, or draw, just because it was a plan, or it's a plan for the team to get more exciting. Like, I can't even believe that. I can't even believe it. Bidwick says, why are all the poaching coaches are losing teams that got fired for our winning coach? Classic Philly fans. Shout out to Michael Clay for being the number one special teams. Are they number one? Really? I mean, Britton Covey, man, Britton Covey's got a future, bro. And it's not just that punt returner. That Britton Covey could be a gadget situational third down receiver, dude. I'm telling you, the way they were using him in that game the other day, I really liked it. I mean, he's got so much speed, it's almost impossible to catch him at that point. You know? It's insane, dude. Like I said, do you see those single video X saying that he were holding back on purpose? We're about to be unleashed during the playoffs. I don't know how to think about that. Yeah, I don't know either. I really don't. I can't believe all of that. I really can't. I mean, you choked the last 6 weeks just to hide some plays for a playoff game. You didn't fight for second seed. You didn't fight for the division. I mean, yeah, I mean, you were 10-1, 2 games ahead in the conference. I mean, that's just insane, dude. It's insane. But yeah, guys, it's gonna get nuts. So, yeah. As much as I want to sit here, I mean, we have to wait and see what happens. We're going to find out the truth, but Wink being available is definitely huge. Ron Rivera being available is definitely huge. But Wink, I just, because he's not afraid. I mean, I love Wink because he's not afraid to do fucking anything. So, yeah, that's about it. But you guys enjoy the rest of your night. We will be back. I'll be back Friday with a stream at the end of the week. Maybe we'll do one maybe middle of the week or something. Kind of get a few streams in this week. Bald Eagles Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. It says Eagles are dumb enough to cut Covey because he can't block on 3rd and 25 screen plays. They got to keep somebody. They're letting Zacchaeus walk. They're letting Quez walk 100%. Devin Allen's gone unless he comes back to the Eagles on the practice squad, most likely. I think he got officially cut not too long ago. So that's it. It's been a hard time for all of us. I understand it 100%, but this is just what it is, man. You know, but I will never back down. You know, I will be here, win, lose, or draw, be upset, be pissed off. I mean, you know, this is what it is, but I'm hoping it gets better from here. I don't want to reset into a whole nother era. You know, unless it's a new era with new coaching and all that stuff. So, you know, we'll see. But all right, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I have a video already ready for tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. It helps out the channel a lot. Appreciate the super chats, memberships, all that great stuff today, and the support. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Peace.